We're excited again for the Hall of Honor this weekend with Julius Whittier, Rene Ramirez, and our own Roy Williams and Quentin Jammer being inducted. And Quandre has asked to go to the induction, and the Hall of Honor has been gracious enough to let Quentin be inducted first. So Quandre will sit there for that induction because it's so unusual to have a brother on your team being inducted, and then he will come back and join the team about 8:30. So it's an exciting time for him. We talked to our trainers long and hard yesterday about David Ash and where he is moving forward, and David is not having symptoms, but at the same time they will not let him be at practice yet, and they will not let him practice obviously until at least maybe next week. So what we're seeing is that he hasn't done anything for 4 weeks. He's lost about 10 pounds. He's not in football playing shape. He threw a ball a little bit this weekend, so even when he gets released and gets back, we're not sure that he'll be ready to play, because the way I understand it, they will release him to practice, but they will not release him to play. And with a quarterback, it's hard to see when you let him go back in because you're not going to hit him during practice. So that's the other reason that right now, with the uncertainty, with 5 games left, we need Tyrone playing and being in that role so we can have 2 quarterbacks ready to go. Practice was very spirited yesterday. I was pleased with that because you never know, getting in at 6 in the morning, guys are tired and coach is tired. You're not sure how they'll respond on Tuesday. It's why we moved it back from Monday to Tuesday this week, and hopefully we'll have the same spirited practice today. It will have been 42 days since we've played at home when we come into the stadium on Saturday afternoon, so that's a long time. Our seniors only have 3 home games left, so it's a very, very important time in their life, and really want the fans to come out and have great support and have a huge crowd for the stadium stampede as well, and say thank you to these seniors as we see their careers winding down. Questions?
So if David's cleared to practice but not cleared to play, what's that do in terms of him being qualified for a medical year?
He can be available to apply for a medical until he is cleared to play. And I wasn't clear on that before, but they can let him return to practice but not clear him to play as well. So that's totally up to the doctors.
So they're 2 different things as far as medical redshirt.
Yes. There's really only one thing that I wasn't sure of. He can return to practice until he is released to play in the ball games. He still qualifies for a medical red shirt.
Is he already out for West Virginia?
No.
Okay.
No, but
Just that 1 week window, right?
yes, they have to have a full week without any symptoms before they will let him return to practice. What I heard this morning is that doesn't mean that they'll let him return to full practice. They may have him start and do 20 minutes of practice on the first day and 30 the next. If that is the case, then he probably would not be able to play that weekend.
Have they said it was a second concussion?
They have not. I haven't asked. What else?
Is this game, do you just have to look at last season as kind of telling your players not to overlook this Kansas team?
There's a number of things that you do. You try to play to a standard, and you play to the standard that we've played to the last 2 weeks, but also you play to that standard of toughness and energy, but you've got a lot of things you can fix. So number one, we got to worry about us first. We got a lot of things that we need to get better to reach our ultimate goals at the end. Secondly, you only have to look at last year's game, same teams, same players. You have to look at last year's game just to see that we were seconds away from losing the game. So our players also have had 2 games where we didn't play well. So we don't have any room for error here at the end. We've got to play well each week.
Is there, watching the film of Kansas, is there improvement from last year to this year, even if it's not necessarily showing up in the wins?
There is. I would think what they would try to do this year against us is what they did last year. They were very much like TCU in that they ran the ball on us and we couldn't run it on them. And that's what happened. So Sims and Pearson are both pro prospects. They're both really good football players. I see improvement on defense. So one of the things that hurts them is they don't have a lot of depth. and it's hurt them in the latter part of games. They've played good quarters, they've played good halves, they've been in games for 3 quarters. They've finished more games already this year than they did last year, but when they're giving up some big scores, it's usually been late when they run out of steam because they don't have enough depth.
Do you remember your immediate reaction to Case's first pass last year against them?
No.
You're really gonna hurt.
Oh, yes. Yes, the nightmare. Yes, thank goodness that one was dropped. I forgot that was the first one, but yes, it was.
The end of that guy's name is Mack Brown.
No, I should be.
Is Swoops doing better in practice?
He had a great day yesterday, and I think it's because he knows now it's time to go. He's one play away now from actually being in the game, and he knows we'll put him in. And yesterday was by far the best practice he's had. Hopefully he'll follow it up with the same energy today.
Getting that much?
Yes, but he's gotten that since David got hurt. Jalen goes in for his 5 or 6 plays every now and then, but what Case said on Monday is really true, that whether you play a guy in a game or not, and that's why I would really like to see college football change and let them play in 5 games, whether it's at the first of the year or the end of the year. It would help kids. It would be safer. There's so many reasons that it works, and Tyrone would have been one of those reasons. But Casey's point, while we were all up there Monday, about he gets 50% of the snaps already. So regardless of how much he plays in the game, and we in games here at the end, and we hope he does get to play some, but regardless of that, he's getting work that should lead him into spring practice with a chance to be a lot further along than a guy who redshirts.
What do you notice about him when you say it's clear now that he's played and he knows he can play, that he practices differently?
Everything was sharper. There was more urgency with what he was doing, because now he knows what it feels like to be out there, and if he goes in Saturday, he will want to do well. Before you want to, but you're not sure what all that means. He knows now. It's real stuff. There'll be a lot of eyeballs on him.
Does he know the whole playbook, or is he?
There's a package. But again, he's practiced for 4 weeks now, every day, so he knows a whole lot of it. I mean, we would just limit some of the things that he would do, but he can do more of the David stuff than Case could do. So it gives you a little bit more of that package as well. And we got to be careful not to put too much in with a freshman.
Like you said, it's been 42 days since you played in Austin. How long does it feel like it's been?
Seems like it's been a year. But the experiences we've had since then have been good. We're a better football team now than we were against Kansas State 4 or 5 weeks ago. So I'm excited to watch us come back and play. I want our fans to see us, and hopefully we'll continue to improve and get better.
Are there any benefits to being away from home for that long, as far as maybe a bunker mentality or more of a challenge?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you have it at home or away. If bunker's a bunker, you're not going to look out, so it doesn't matter who's standing out there.
How different does it feel for you going into the K-State game after the losses and then going into this Saturday?
I'm excited about where we are and moving forward. The biggest excitement for me is that I don't think we've even scratched the surface of how good this team can be. And we got 5 tough weeks here, so we need to do that. To get where we need to go, we got to improve, and I want to see it this weekend.
Why do you feel that way? Not even scratch the surface. You played so well the last 2 games.
Yes, but we had 2 interceptions at the end of the game we got to get rid of. We had too many negative runs against TCU and put us in 3rd and long way too many times. We had the trick play fool us. We're not returning kickoffs like we should. We got one of the best returners in the country with the ability. So if he's doing that on punts, why can't he do it on kickoffs? We had an 80-something yard punt return call back. We're not covering kickoffs properly. We're trying hard, but we're taking poor angles. We're missing tackles. So those are just a few things, all of which we can do better.
Matt, is this defensive line to you more impressive on tape than what you see in the game?
Ours,
Yeah.
Yes.
Good defensive line.
Yes, and they're playing pretty well too deep. Hassan Ridgeway and Desmond Jackson are getting some fresh plays and fresh legs in there. Reggie Wilson's having his best year ever in his time here, and Shiro Davis is making plays. So we're pretty good too deep up front, and that's really helped us.
Josh Cochran still day-to-day.
Josh Cochran is out for this game.
He's out.
Yes.
Is he making any improvement, or?
Yeah. That's. I ask the same questions every morning.
Yeah.
He will play when his range of motion and his strength improves, was what I was told this morning. Is it improving? Yes. So that's what you get.
We asked Greg Robinson last night if he wanted to be back next year, and he said he'd like to coach another 10 or 15 years. So he said you hadn't had a chance to talk to him, so we're just relaying that.
No, we've been kind of overloaded. we haven't had a lot of time to sit around and visit. It's funny, the last time we were home, Greg was going into his second week. Now I think he's old with the program. He's in about week 6. So Greg's done a great job for us, and the chemistry's working, and the players like him, and everything's working. So he and I can have that conversation in time.
Was Josh Turner the only one fooled on the trick play? Was that his responsibility?
Yes.
Came up.
Yeah, I could have had help with the safety, but they did a good job with the play.
Had they run that before?
Nope.
Mack, playing for the Big 12 title like you guys are, does the rest of the season feel almost like single elimination, like you have to win every game the rest of the way?
No, because I feel like there could be a one-loss team win this league. So it's going to be a great 5 weeks. This league's setting up to be fun to watch here at the end. Everybody's about to start running into each other here, and it's going to be exciting games each week. It'll be a fun finish.
We talked about Kansas a little bit. Charlie Weiss looks like he's got a monumental job. It's like, do you think Kansas can get him back and, be more respectable in this league?
I do. Mark Mangino got it. It took him a while, and you have to give Mark credit for doing it. And Charlie will figure it out. He's smart. He wants to be there. He had the name recognition with the Patriots, Notre Dame, and with the Kansas City Chiefs, and he really helped the quarterbacks at Kansas City when he was there. So he's got a really good staff. So I don't, and you, like I said, you see enough improvement. You see things, but you have to see them as a coach because you watch them all the time. You watch every day. But he knew what he was into when he got there.
Were you surprised when he called his team a pile of something in July?
You know, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, coaches cut up, and they have fun, and it's not fun anymore. I mean, people just make stuff out of stuff, so I know you all wouldn't, but some people across the country do that. So, well,
I just wondered if that surprised you when he said it.
I didn't pay much attention to it.
Gotta watch the Kansas media. They're tough.
Yeah. What else we got? Thank you, folks. I'll see you Saturday.
Thanks, Mac.